Hello, everyone. And everyone, I mean every country in the world. How are you guys? This is Laleh Hancock. And if you're watching this later and you're not on my page, just so you know who I am, I wanted to share. I was so excited. I have been doing interviews on different podcasts and some things that are coming up with media, which I'm so grateful for Mikkel Media, who's been brilliant and getting me some amazing spots. And this one really got me thinking, and I wanted to share it. Hey guys, thanks for being here. I one of the things that I'm talking about is actually being the leader of your life. And what was interesting is when we first started this interview today, it was not really leaders and leadership and making you a priority the way this guy thought. And it was so beautiful to watch. Even with him, he has such an amazing relationship with his wife, and just the way that they are creating together. And yet still there's some things that this actually assisted him with. And I wonder like how many of us, when we even think about leadership and being a leader or being the leader of our lives, how many of us actually misidentify and misapply them to being like, if I'm a leader, I have to be the aggressive one. Or if I'm the leader, I have to exclude everyone to be the one in the front. And if I'm a leader, blah, 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 and all these like projections and expectations, but actually, what if it's not any of those things? It's the willingness not to exclude you. It's the willingness to actually even start asking questions of what would you like to add to your life? And I talked about, this was about conscious relationship podcast. And so we talked about, relationships, personal relationships, but we also talked about businesses. And I just like, I don't know, it just got me so fired up to like how much we misidentify what leadership is and what it's not. And the willingness to, like, some people like shying away from being that leader in their life because they don't want to hurt their partner, or they don't want to overstep boundaries at work. But what if like you don't even have to tell anyone that you're being the leader? What if it's nothing about anyone else, but it's about you? The presence you're willing to have, the consciousness you're willing to have, the awareness you're willing to have in your own life, in your own job, in your own business, and allowing that to go out into the world. And one of the things we talked about is this excited, I'm so excited, is this book. I don't know, some of you don't know. America's Leading Ladies. And I have the great pleasure of being in this book. And I talk about being the leader for now and for the future. Because like most of us are thinking about short term, like, okay, am I going to lead a project, or am I going to be the leader of an organization, or am I going to be a leader in my family? But what if it's not just about today, but it's like all the decisions, the choices you're making of today? What future is that creating? And how can you not just wait for someone to choose you? Instead, you get to choose the life that you desire to have. You get to choose what you would like in your life, what you would like in your finances, what you'd like in your job, instead of being chosen for all of it. And I'll talk more about choosing and chosen one too later. But by the way, Oprah's in here. Yeah, she is. And we have Renegades, and we have some amazing women that share their stories, but it's not just about stories. This book was about empowering people to have tools, like actually be able to read this book and apply things in their lives. It's not about you coming to my class. It's not about you listening to me at a lecture. It's about the willingness to incorporate things in your life with or without someone else guiding you. So I don't know, just kind of putting a little few minutes of that book in there. And then like leadership, like, so what if you guys define leadership is and it's not? And what if you define it's not that it actually is? And if you were willing every single day to actually commit to you, commit to the life that you desire, commit to being that leader of your life, like what would melt away that you have been desiring to change, and what would be infused into your life? And I love all these messages. I apologize. I have not been watching. I choose me. I spend a long time waiting to be chosen. I think most of us did. That's what we learned. We learned as little kids, wait for your turn, wait to be chosen. Do you remember when we were in school and we had to like stand in a line and they would choose you? Yeah, we learned it very early on. But if you notice, 3-year-olds don't wait for you. They're willing to be leaders. They're willing to go for what they desire. That's my new motto in life. 3-year-olds. I don't know why, but I just love them. I think they're just magic, and they don't let anyone get in their way. So what if we can all be these, the 3-year-old that you actually are, like you always were? Like, what if you could be that? Like, in every part of your life. Like, how much more joy would you add to your life? How much more of you would you have in your life? I'm so excited. I don't know what to tell you guys other than I am so excited about this topic of leadership. I've been talking about it in a lot of different media outlets and articles and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that with all of this, it actually empowers the youth. It empowers us who are not youth anymore, but we could still say that we are. But it's also cross the sex. It's not about being the leader as a woman and making men wrong. I am not talking about that kind of leadership. It's not about the men and making women wrong. It's like each of us, the gift that we are, spreading that into the whole world, just spreading it. And it starts with you. Leadership is not waiting for anyone else. It starts with you. What are you willing to choose today that will actually create greater for you and the world? And I'm also very excited. I am going to be going to Mexico City in March, the first week, the 6th through the 8th, and I'm actually facilitating one of my specialty classes, which is one of my favorites. It's called Leaders of Tomorrow. And what I love about this program, it's about you being you, actually putting away all those layers of what you think you are and what you're not, and actually starting to identify what is it that you'd like to add to your life and the actions of how to actually be that leader to actualize it, not just have it be a fantasy, a dream in your head that you hope one day you'll be able to be this, but how and what can you put in place? What actions can you take today to put them in place, but allow them to actually flourish and grow and expand for today and tomorrow? Oh, thank you so much, Violetta. That's so sweet of you. And the other aspect of it is so many of us aren't willing to be the leaders in our finances. So day 2 is all about financial awareness and expanding your finances, because it's about you not relying on everyone else, even your financial advisors. I've got financial advisors, and yes, they give me information, but I don't look to them as being the God of the information. I look at them as one source of information that gives me the awareness, that lets me choose what I'd like those finances to be. As well as, what if you could apply some tools today, like literally today, that allows you to start generating and creating a future that has the finances that you're looking for, and also starts to make you money. Finances is not just about money, but it includes money. And then the third day is about you being the catalyst of change. You know, I love it. We have the Bowmans, we've got David Kubis, they have their stuff coming up. And benevolent capitalism, like, I love this word, being the catalyst of change, because you don't realize by you being you, you melt everything. You melt away judgments, you melt away stress, you melt away problems, you melt away these financial issues. You be this magic that just transforms things and alters molecules. And it really is about starting to use it to your advantage. Most of us are willing to do it for others. We're willing to be that energy. We're willing to be that space for everyone else to allow their lives to grow and expand. But very rarely are we willing to be that gifting and receiving of it, that receiving of you being that contribution, that gift for you and your life, your finances, your relationships, and everything else. And I have to thank Roberta. I have to thank Claudia, Carla, Yvonne, because they had a vision and they really believed in this Leaders of Tomorrow and are inviting me to come to Mexico City. And we're going to have it online. So if you're not in Mexico City, come to Mexico City. Or you could be from anywhere around the world and join us online. But what I love about them is they're all 4 leaders. Like, they're all different. Their personalities are different. How they're stimulated and excited and how they create is different. Everything about them is different. But each of them and the leaders that they are allows other kinds of people to be drawn in. That allows people to feel empowered. And like, there was this picture of all 4 of them the other day, and it made my heart melt. It was so exciting because you could so perceive the joy of creating together. So what if it's not about you doing things alone? And I think a lot of times as leaders, the first thing we think about is you have to be the first one out there. You have to do it all by yourself. Nothing in life do you have to do by yourself because you're never alone. You have your body, you've got the universe, you've got consciousness, you've got your capacities, abilities, your superpowers that you don't even know you have, but you got. And so, like, when you also are willing to include others, when it's not just about you sacrificing and doing it alone, there's this whole other world of leadership that actually allows itself to get created and allows itself to grow. So I'd like to invite all of you guys. You don't have to come to Leaders of Tomorrow, but I invite you to be the leaders of your lives. Like, what would your life be like? But what will the world be like in 5 years if you actually were choosing and committing to being that leader? And it doesn't matter what your mom thinks. It doesn't matter what your lover thinks. It doesn't matter of anyone else. It's not about exclusion and fight from them. It's not about that. But it's also the willingness not to give up on you and your dreams and the things that you would like to bring into the world. It might be a new company. It might be a product. It might be a service. It might just be more joy. So what if you don't have to work in corporate America to be a leader? What if you don't even have to have your own business? What if you could be the amazing stay-at-home mom? Guess what? I have so many stay-at-home moms and dads who come to these classes and they realize how much better they could be in every part of their lives. And they tend to make more money and they tend to have more fun. So, all those other added benefits that go along with it. But like, what if it's not about job, but it's actually about the celebration of living, the celebration of you being you, and your willingness to become more consciously aware of your finances and actualizing. Stop waiting to be chosen, stop waiting for everyone else, and actually take those steps forward. And some days it's not easy. I'll tell you, I'm the first to raise my hand. Some days it just is not easy. But you know what? If we don't give up, when it's not easy, it's okay because it doesn't last. It's this temporary thing. It actually does not last. Instead, what comes from it is those 2 extra steps forward that lead you to something so much greater. So if it would be fun for you, come join me. I've got lots of things coming up. Mexico City is one of them, and Leaders of Tomorrow is one of them. And I invite you guys. This is on Amazon. It's also on my website, belapemo.com, belapemo.com. If you guys want to check it out, there's some things from the book on my website. But what I love about it is really the magic of courage, like not letting challenges get in our way, and that willingness, like Gary Douglas always says, the founder of Access Consciousness, like, never give up, never give in, stop. Because it's only 2 more steps usually to that other light, to whatever seems like a problem melting away and becoming this other level of possibility that you never imagined before. So what else is possible, my friends? I just wonder. Okay, well, thank you guys for being here. I'm so grateful for you. And I hope to see you guys somewhere soon. I'm in Brazil. Come to Brazil. See you online. And yeah, what if you being the leader of your life is exactly what the world requires? Till next time. Bye, guys.